It's a brain-eating amoeba, and that's already been blamed for several deaths in that state. Jonathan Martin is live in New Orleans tonight with more on that. Jonathan?
Well, John, state police are now actually involved in this investigation. They're trying to figure out if this potentially deadly and dangerous amoeba ended up in the water system as a result of the water company not putting the proper amount of chlorine in the water. As you mentioned, this is a very serious issue, as 3 people have died recently in the state from this same amoeba, including a 4-year-old boy just last year. In St. John Parish, just outside New Orleans,
Pull it to you. Right here.
Tainted water has forced schools into a state of emergency.
What we're doing is we taped up all of our water fountains, and we're providing water dispensers in our schools. We're also providing wipes and hand sanitizers.
Last month, samples of the district's water supply revealed the presence of a potentially deadly brain-eating amoeba. While state health officials say the water is safe to drink for the nearly 13,000 residents here, they warn the amoeba usually leads to a deadly infection if it gets into the nasal cavity and into the brain.
And you look at a classic water fountain, a 4-year-old bends their head, presses the button, then the water shoots up in that direction. So we wanted to minimize that.
Right now, the water here in the community does taste and smell a little different. That's because officials here at the water treatment plant have had to double the level of chlorine in the water, hoping to eradicate this amoeba. Louisiana's health department has mandated the chlorine levels remain that high for 60 days.
So with this emergency order, the requirement is to test 70 sites. And those 70 sites have to be tested once a week in 1 day.
No illnesses have been reported. Still,
what you having, babe?
Cheryl Berger isn't convinced the water is even safe to drink, and she won't serve it to her customers. Like so many in the small town, she's asking how this happened.
Neglect. I run a business. I make sure all my employees are doing what they need to do, and I don't understand how the parish, the supervisors are not checking on the employees. Who's following up on this?
Louisiana State Police are now investigating the local water district because the samples taken in August showed no chlorine in the system. Last year, the state started requiring all water utilities to maintain a chlorine level of at least 0.5 milligram per liter in response to 3 recent amoeba-related deaths in Louisiana.
We don't want to, I guess, make any speculations on how it happened or what the reason was. We just want to make sure that we get it right.
Weeks of purchasing water is expected to cost the school district nearly $20,000, but leaders feel it's a small price to pay for precaution. And again, John, officials here with the CDC and with the Louisiana Health Department are reminding residents and trying to calm their fears and telling them that they can drink the water, that it doesn't affect the digestive system. But again, if it gets into your nasal cavity and into your brain, officials say it is almost always deadly. And so that is why so many people are concerned. But because there's so many unanswered questions here about the records and how much chlorine was in the water, a lot of people tell us they're just not drinking the water, they're not brushing their teeth with it until they really can get some clear answers.
Yeah, you can understand why. Jonathan Martin in New Orleans. Jonathan, thank you very much.